Back to WhatsApp on Galaxy Television, a show that runs from Monday through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. This is where we bring all the entertainment, especially we have celebrity gist that happens towards the end of the show. This is when we discuss everything that happens in celebrity life, both in Nigeria and outside the continent. Also, we have trending issues, which sometimes gets us in trouble. We also have fashion and style. This is when we go on the red carpet. We discuss who or what, who styled them, what they were. They were looking abundantly beautiful. And then we usually give ratings from 1 to at least 10. Also, we do movie reviews. This is when we check out movies from Nigeria that are hot and in box office or Netflix, Prime, and all that. YouTube as well. We'll tell you what the stories are all about. The movies rather, we give synopsis, the plot, theme, everything that concerns it. We tell you about the stars that are in these movies as well. And then we give ratings from 1 to 10. Also, we have the icing on the cake is when we have guest A-list celebrity coming to the studios to tell you about their life. Sometimes we have them via Zoom. We've had people from Spain, south of France. We've had from Italy. We've had from Canada, the UK, the US. We've had from Ghana. We've had from Sierra Leone. Anywhere, Liberia. We've had these artists come through via Zoom to tell you, those of them that can't be here, to tell you this is their life, their journey's worth and all that. And today, we have someone very special in the studio, A-list celebrity. He is, in fact, one of the most popular comedians, the younger generation right now. You know, we started comedians that year. We had Basket Mouth, we had I Go Die, but we still have those. We have, I Go Save, we have, Why, these are oldies, and they are oldies who just sprung out of nowhere and became wicked. Like when you listen to these people, you understand that they understand what comedy is all about. And this person we have in the studio right here has been doing so much in comedy. We see his skits, we see his doings, and any stage he steps on, he absolutely electrifies it. Ladies and gentlemen, Lagos world, help us welcome to the studio this morning, Apostwo. How far now? We haven't even done main introduction, but this is just a sample. We're happy to have you here. You're looking very good, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you for honoring us. All right, his name is Odion Gabriel Ejehi Zivion, popularly known as Apostwo. He's a I told you guys now, we don't cap on the show. He's a world-class stand-up comedian, an exceptional master of ceremonies, and a fantastic screen actor. His journey into comedy started back in secondary school, where he transformed his classroom into a mini stage, drawing students from older classes to witness his raw talents. This early recognition of his gift laid the foundation for what would become a thriving career in entertainment. Beyond comedy, Apostwo is a business idea, consultant, a filmmaker, yes, a social media expert. His mastery of content creation is evident across his social media platforms, where he handles scripting, editing, and strategizing or strategic planning himself. Apostwo's talent has earned him notable recognition in the industry. He was the only comedian to make it to the finals of the prestigious Alimosho comedy competition. He has also showcased his talent on the Deja Spirit Talent Hunt and competed in the highly challenging Alibaba Spontaneity, one of Nigeria's toughest stand-up comedy competition. Over the years, he has handled and headlined major comedy shows across Nigeria, earning a reputation for his unmatched creativity and ability to keep audiences engaged. His presence on stage is more than entertainment. It's obviously an all-round experience. Whenever anyone sees him with a microphone in front of them, it's a sign that they are royalty, because he doesn't just stand before ordinary men. Apostwo is not just a comedian, he's a force in the entertainment industry. So you guys have someone in the industry who is a king, who is royalty. And yes, so far so good. We're happy to have you in the studios this morning. Now tell us from the beginning, the journey into comedy, stand-up comedy. It says in your body of work, in your biography, that in secondary school, you dragged students into class where you made part of the class a mini stage. Tell us this journey. How did it all start for you?
So basically, even I myself have forgotten about it. It's, some friends that they will comment under my post that, do you remember so thing that we call talent on the school? And I'm like, oh yes. So what happened was that, my class, I don't know, we just started like that. We just said, I think it was a Thursday that, we do use for recess where we just, meditate and, just do one or two studies. So we just say, from morning to three, we're in class, we are reading, we are studying. Okay, let's
do something different. Yeah.
Different. So we just organized the board, put the talent show and something on the board, and I just started hosting it. My classmates sit down. As news to go around now, before you know, it has gone to the next class that on Thursday, this particular class, they always have a show. And just like that, every Thursday, the other class bring their chair down, the window is crowded, and they are there to listen to jokes.
Wow.
So at the point the teacher found it, wanted to stop it. Before you know, the next assembly ground, they announced that day becomes a day for talent in school. That was how it started.
Oh my God. That's really beautiful. So I'm sure a lot of students at that point will be looking forward to the fact that, man, Apostwo and his clique. Was it just you or you and...
So basically, I've done music actually too. I like music, so most times so it was me, Q-Dot, to call him Q-Dot, the other Squam, Chinko, so we're like 6. So one of the guys, he raps in Chinese, which is the most hilarious thing.
I can imagine. Oh my God.
So another person dance, another person, beat drums with their mouth, and I come up and I do the comedy, and it's really something I wish I'm definitely going to recreate that. Definitely going to recreate that. It's an amazing. That basically I just.
All right, as a comedian, a stand-up comedian in Nigeria, tell us some of the few challenges you've faced, you've come hand in hand with or face to face with, some of the very daunting challenges and how you've been able to come through all those challenges unscathed.
So basically, the comedy industry in Nigeria is they believe more in fame without substance. See, because anybody can just go viral, even for what does not make sense. We know.
Yes,
any kind of go viral for what does not make sense. So they are just concerned about, as long as you are popular, you have the traffic, and it's beyond that. That's why the Western world are thriving more than our space. You see people that you really do not see them on the social media, but they are selling out stadium. You wonder how? It's because they are giving value than just popularity.
True.
So and most time, maybe you go to a comedy show, you want to perform. It's all about who do you know. What have you, how many followers do you have on Instagram? Have you gone viral before? It should be beyond that. It should be, what can you give out? Comedy is communication. What message are you passing on with your craft? How spontaneous are you? How can you keep the audience engaged? But it's not like that. You see a lot of people that just because they went viral on Instagram, they're climbing stage that people that have worked hard for the craft, they will not be able to get there because of it's all about connection. There are very few people that understand this stuff, and that's a lot of people don't know why I expect Emoji Apostwo every time. They be like, you talk about this person so much. Emoji Apostwo is one person that if you start comedy today now, as I speak, and Emoji Apostwo want to introduce you, people will think you have done comedy for 10 years. Because it will give you that welcome, because comedy is perspective. If you are calling somebody and be like, this person just started, yesterday just started, me and give an audience. Already paint a perspective to the audience that it just started, it might not be that good and everything. And people that giving you that kind of, you see somebody introducing a comedian that, if he's not funny, it's not my fault. Why? So we have this mindset of, it's fame, it's popularity we're concerned about, even if you're not funny. That's why some comedians will come up on stage and say, if I can't make you laugh, go and watch my video on Instagram. Bro, that's what's about comedy is that the result is instantly. If what you're doing is making sense, you will know directly on the spot. The audience and the feedback is directly on the spot.
Instantaneous. As you're giving it, what you're getting about. Yes. Instantly. And that's exactly how it should be. So those are the few challenges that you've come through. Now, for your jokes, for comedy, for music, whatever it is, your craft fully, how do you get motivation and how are you inspired to get, you see, in Nigeria, let me tell you, if you're a very funny person, you're funny. If you're not, you're not.
Exactly.
In Nigeria, if you want to end your career, come in front. In fact, we'll get to that first. We'll get to that. But the truth is, how do you stay motivated? How do you get materials for the kind of wicked jokes? Because I've seen you on stage. I've seen you in different places, event centers and all that. You've been fantastically wicked. People would laugh, drag, like, And you know what you said, it's not about the name sometimes. It's about the quality that you draw. And anywhere you go, to be like, who's this person? We don't know him, but man, he really did good. We all laughed and he cracked our ribs and everything. And that's what we want to see. Some of all these very big comedians, not just name.
Yeah.
They're really not that funny. So yes, what's the motivation behind the materials that you drop for us?
Okay, so I would say that I'm a Christian and I'm unapologetic about that. So basically for me, I don't know for anybody, but me, God is my source and inspiration every day, every time. I'll use yesterday for example. I was going at a comedy club, animal show. We just started comedy club. I just pick a pen and an empty book and I tell God, I don't know what I want to say, but this book is going to be filled if I get to where I'm going to. And I just stay. So first of all, some people, comedy is inborn. Like they're just naturally funny. And there's a set of people they grow in the process of learning that art of trying to be funny. But some people just there. Just there. Like if you're having a conversation with them, they are spontaneous about it. And not necessarily everybody that is spontaneous like that can actually perform. Some people are just naturally funny when you're having a conversation with them. But if they now learn it, if you study the craft, they can be funny on stage. Then there's some other people, they actually learn the craft of being funny. We have comedy writers. They can't perform, but they can write jokes. They have a very funny sense of humor. So personally for me, I would say it's just in there. And 100% God is my inspiration, my source. So most times what I do is I make myself the butt of the joke. The moment a comedian can make himself the butt of the joke, he has break that barrier of trying to force being funny. It becomes effortlessly funny. If I can use a situation about me, crack joke, several times, a lot of my jokes have gone viral. I've used my native name as a joke. It's a reality joke. I didn't form it up. It's about my name. I've used my popsy as a joke. It happened real about him liking bitter leaf and everything. It has gone viral. It happened real. So most time I've made myself the joke. You know, most comedians, they thrive on making other people the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. I'm the joke. So I create the joke around me. And it's always relatable. Real life experience are the most relatable material ever. There are jokes all around. I tell people, no matter how rich you are, sometimes experience something different from your space. Enter public transport. You will see some funny things.
Many funny things.
Sometimes just go to Aboki place, stroll to the newspaper stand and just stay. There are jokes everywhere. So basically, I look around me, I find funny things around me, I just put them in a book and I just arrange them.
And that's it.
That's it.
So now the question here is 2 questions. Tell us about your most funny scenarios and your most embarrassing moments.
Hey,
you know, I'm always talking about embarrassing moments because as artists or artists, as entertainers, invariably you've had one of those. Like I have a friend who was a DJ and I knew, or is a DJ. I knew this guy was off the hook, really knows his craft and everything. But at a certain place or event where he had to perform, the amplifier blew like twice. They brought 2 different ones. And that is when the music was, everybody were like, hey, Baba, you did drop palm. And the first one. The second one was, they had to start, they went somewhere, borrowed one, it was, people were like, now wow, you're not even good, Zef. This is someone that was doing exceptionally well. So at the end of the day, it still made a whole lot of sense. But for you, what has been your most elevated moments and your most embarrassing moments?
So let me start with the most embarrassing moment. So for we comedians, when there's a material that they call a banker material. Now that banker material is a material that, come rain, come sun, is guaranteed to always save you whenever you are losing your audience. Like it's a banker material. Most comedians use that as a starter to just get the audience attention. Most comedians use that as the finishing. So now I was at the comedy club. I used that material at a comedy club one time, and there was an opening and the whole audience I had to wait for the laughter to die down. Shege, okay, I think let me remind the joke. So the joke was like, and I said a lot of things happened in Nigeria that I saw that time that they stopped bike from going. I saw a police officer using Okada to pursue Okada. So when I said then, it was really funny that the whole audience would be like, how will police officer be using Okada to pursue Okada? I'll have to wait for the laughter to die down. So I went to another comedy club. That was a banker material. I have too much confidence in that joke. And I said it like this, bam. And everywhere was quiet.
Not even one smile.
But I go in my mind, I'm not like, is it that you wouldn't hear me? Or at least
should I recap?
I was literally waiting for the ground to swallow me. Or like, my God. And that's one thing about comedy is that if you feel you're having a bad day, just continue. And honestly speaking, I just continue my set. I don't, because that thing was so crazy, and I'm like, if this material that is a sure material did not work, then what other thing do I have a reason for? So, but I just kept on continuing, and funny enough, that was the first time I was actually sprayed performing that same performance. So that was like the most craziest of, and I think one of my best moments on stage ever was at Calabar, the Nigeria Street Talent competition. And I think a lot of things happen backstage before we get on that stage. So I went for that competition. I was on medication. I was on the road for 2 days. Like I just finished collecting drip and I entered the road for that competition. On the day of the audition, I was still on medication, and backstage I was shaking. I was even taking, a lot of people saw me with that cough. They didn't know I was taking the medication, the tonic medication. I was sitting and I was shaking. And when I stepped on that stage, it was like every word I was dropping was having a massive effect. So I think that was one of my best moments on stage. It was massive. It was massive. That video had over 1 million views, exceeded.
Wow, because I know that particular time you had Iniedo as one of the judges, Dr. Seed, and what's the name of this fair chick also?
Liquor Rose,
absolutely stunning.
That was a lot of people did not know that there was a lot behind that wonderful performance. They were like, this guy, the confidence is dear. Where did he get the confidence? Backstage, I was like, what is going to happen?
And those are some of the things we face as entertainers. Yeah. And it's funny because you have to show up and definitely show out, because nobody won't know whether you're fainting or you almost died somewhere or you had, and it's testament to the fact that you can be resilient at some point. Exactly. And it's a very good thing. Now, we're here with Apostwo. He's been telling us about comedy, jokes, lifestyle, everything that resonates entertainment. He's also told you about one or some of his downtimes. It takes a whole lot to be able to face some of all these things and still come through, finish up your jokes. There's a time in school that we had one comedian come through, and students are the most terrible human beings in the world. And then, unfortunately for the guy, we didn't know he was going to perform, so I think he was trolling me outside or something. I'm the school comedian. I will never come out to crack jokes, but if I come backstage, for you, if I come for you. So he had me outside and he was feeling okay. And there was one time he was on stage. It was really going well for him. He now cracked one joke that was not funny. And everywhere was quiet. And then I just let out this very tiny laugh. Everybody died. From upstairs, downstairs, everybody. You're like, who be that? And my name was going around like they knew that means. They just knew it had to be me. The guy felt like drowning
at that point,
but that's payback for what you did to me, bro. But at the end of the day, I now started clapping and everybody joined in clapping, and then he continued. And then for no reason we're all laughing, whether it was funny or not, but I knew that one moment, let me get out, but others, now you get out. So we'll go on a quick break. We still have Apostwo in the building, and of course, Orally Day for you. Make sure that you don't go anywhere, because this part promises to be exciting. Don't go far. Yes, welcome back. I'm sure a lot of you enjoyed that one. And if he can make you laugh from the comfort of your houses, you know that any show that this man steps into, any event, place he comes to, you know that yes, that was the spirit of
Niger spirituality.
all right. And you see, Ike Bona can be very I cannot get joy sometimes. So to see Ike smiling, Dr. Sid is an all-rounder, so he will smile and to put interesting jokes. Nigerians, a lot of things happen to us. You get where you go crack joke, nobody go laugh because
the people won't laugh, but
they just couple themselves back like, what? There's sometimes a comedian cracks jokes and I'll just be laughing. I'll just tell myself, what's in the worry you say? Like you laugh past, that's the spirit. That's the spirit that we have in Nigeria. It is not, you see, it's inbuilt. But the thing about comedy is, if you're good, you're good, and if you can just make. The other time I went somewhere, I was looking at Apostwo. I think it was for the Emojis concluded show.
Okay.
Last show in December.
Okay.
Was it Laugh Unlimited or I can't remember. But Emoji, and it started with Igwe Henry. Okay. He was absolutely wicked, terrible human being. Someone at the VIP spot, like high table, he yabbed the man. They sprayed him, and the kind of some of the jokes people tell are very expensive. What he said that I was coming around like, how would you say? And then he will edit. Organa joke, no vex, and some of all those things. Now, how was the reception at the end of this performance that you gave?
This was one of like my most amazing stage and time on stage, because I've always told myself that, because there's one of my major dream is to perform at American Got Talent. So I'll keep asking myself that I want to know the capability of my craft in different states that I've not been to. I want to perform to a different area that have never seen me before, have never heard of me before, and I want them to be wowed. So that was a testament that, bro, your craft can go to any place and will definitely thrive. Because first of all, the Calabar side of people are not, the comedians there are not my kind of comedian. They don't do my kind of joke. And I went there and I gave them a different kind of joke, and they accepted it and it blew their mind. So that was a testament for me. The reception was one of the most amazing ones. The next day that the video was posted online, my social media was buzzing. Was literally buzzing of messages, notifications, follow. It was amazing, honestly.
All right. So right now that you've done this, what are we looking forward to in terms of what you got going on for Apostwo? What's the next step now? What are you planning? As big and huge as you are, you should have, I think it will be time for your comedy show, Apostwo live on stage, or whatever you have planned out. Of course, you have the support of Emoji Akbos and so many big people around who are very creative performers. I'm seeing Emoji today, later on today, by the way. He's paying me a visit really? Somewhere. Okay. Idimu, so they have a show where you have the stalker coming through.
I'm actually on the bill, but I'm not sure I'll be around.
Oh, why?
The movement.
Clash of but anyway, that's exactly what it is. But what do you have planned right now?
So far, a lot of people are saying, Apostwo, when are you going to do a show? When are you going to do a show? I'm one person that is, I do not like to follow the crowd. Because I've attended a lot of shows, and the person hosting the show does not even have 10, 20 minutes of performance. And I'm like, basically, these people are coming to come and watch you. So you should be able to give them material. If you can't pull off a show by yourself with just your face, and get your audience to come and actually watch you, I don't see there's a need to pull off a show. It's not about I've not been able to pull off a show then, because definitely this year, June, we are actually having a show. There's going to be Acts of Apostwo.
Oh.
So definitely June this year we're going to have a show. And why I'm not so much in a hurry is because I want to make sure that I give people quality for their money.
Sure.
I'm really concerned about that. So this year, June, we're having a show this year, Acts of Apostwo. And actually this year, we actually wanted to break the Guinness World Record of longest stand-up comedy show. That's 50 hours. That's the record. When I discovered that 2 other comedians are already doing the show, and I don't have any issue with them doing the show, again. But since they're already doing it, let them do it. Many people like say, we can't drag for the
now complaints. This one break it. After I break it, another person will break it
So
immediately.
when they really break up, and I don't know whether Guinness Book of Record they are aware say they won't break any record because you know say the way Nigerians they do the Guinness Book of Record, they go soon tear the book. So I will just quick man leave there say anything I want to be the record this year, you know do when I see the result. But definitely one of the major plan this year was to actually break the Guinness Book of Record. That record has been there for years. Nobody has broken it. So, but since I saw a lot of people, I just look over, you guys should go ahead. Let's see what you guys want to do.
Let's see what they can achieve with that. So aside to that, your show
yes,
coming
definitely
in June.
Show. And so far, a lot of people have been messaging me about, other young comedians having a program for them. And we actually put in a record, having, a class for young comedians to let them understand what they're getting into, how best they can get to. A lot of us didn't really have people to put us through. So a lot of us are lucky. We have people like, mentors. And actually, because they are mentors, they are tormentors. The one way some people get not tormentors. So, but, a lot of people didn't have mentors. And, the comedy world is shaping, this segment we are in a different from the previous generation. The generation is getting, more, they are getting to see things in different aspects. So at least they should have people that are mentoring them in different ways. So hopefully we're going to have a class, going to be free for young comedians. So, learn from the OGs, as also learn from the people that are current, that are doing well, and learn practical. Most people like motivation. But
a lot.
Motivation, the you in you is greater than the you in you. You want to give practical steps on how to thrive in the stand-up comedy industry. So that's one of our major things, actually, to give back to society.
All right. Before we close this segment, in comedy, especially in Nigeria, we've understood that there's sometimes that you have the big cats trying to ruin the way for some of the new people coming through, especially when the ones coming through are more funnier than them. You hear the ones that have been there a while. They now say, what do you think about this young or upcoming comedian? Let's give him or them a chance and be like, no, I don't like them just because they are not cool, or this person doesn't pay homage to you like you feel they should. What do you think about that? Is that something that's viable?
Like, it's a major problem in the comedy industry, just the way it is in politics in Nigeria. This godfatherism, this so-called senior colleague of a team. It's a problem, and it's really eating into the industry. You see senior colleague, though joke theft it does not necessarily based on younger one, but you see senior colleague using a young comedian joke because they have the access to the bigger platform where it goes viral. And the younger colleague can't fight it. You get? And you see senior colleague, trying to, play smart when it comes to finance with the younger one. I believe that respect is reciprocal. All these so-called senior colleague of a team or godfather is not necessary. That's why a lot of people don't know why I respect Emoji Apostwo so much. Emoji Apostwo is one person that Emoji Apostwo is one of the most humble human beings that no matter where they have gotten to in their career, you see how humble they are, how they respond to people that are just starting. Emoji Apostwo can pick anybody up. Now I speak to you now. Pick you and put you in a stage. Emoji Apostwo is the person that have taken me to comedy show when he just knew me and said, if this guy does not make you laugh, I will stop comedy. Emoji Apostwo, whenever I was going to a show, that when I was with Emoji Apostwo, I was going to a show, I will have a book. I write jokes every day. Emoji Apostwo told me, if you are writing one joke every day, you know how many jokes you have at the end of the year. You have a archive of jokes. Unlike all the senior colleagues that you give them a joke, instead of them to help you refine that joke, they will tip that joke from you. So this whole idea of godfatherism, senior colleague, I think something we need to eradicate. Respect is not commanded, it's earned. So when somebody see that you deserve this respect, they'll pay homage to you. People will respect you if you actually earn that respect, not command it. It's a major problem. I've been to a comedy show whereby a lot of people didn't want Emoji Apostwo to perform. Why? Because they are scared that if he performs, they may not be able to keep up that momentum. And they will definitely do it. A lot of other comedians in the industry now, Monica, The Stalker, that said a lot of story about when they were coming up in the industry that people didn't want to put them in a platform. The Stalker will say, person will get person for mango tree, who's supposed to be hungry. You see people that they have people in the high places, but they can't drag them by the hand and put them there. Right? Because they are scared of their success. How will a leader be scared of the success of his follower? It happens in the industry currently as we speak.
So what ways can we use to curb that?
So now the thing is, it's eating so bad into the industry that I want young comedians to start to understand, to create platform for themselves. Enough of trying to look for platform. Create a platform for yourself. Start small. From 50 people, you get it to 100 persons. From 100 persons, you get it to 150, you get it to 200. Before you know, you can get 1,000 persons to come and sit to watch you. But we don't believe in a growth process. We want it big instantly. That's why I see comedians that just started career, want to do a show for a 400-seater capacity. Why so much in a hurry? Take your time. If it's 100 people you have, then you know what it is for 100 people to come and watch you. That's a lot. That 100 people sit down to listen to you.
Crack your jokes,
listen to you, you record it, you put it out. That's a lot, man. But a lot of comedians are platform hungry. Every time they are struggling to want to perform in a place, they're struggling to want to see their face act. No, it's beyond that. There are a lot of, I know comedians that are performing in a hotel. They are performing on the big platform, but they are nowhere. It's not by performing in that big platform that matters. A lot of people are saying lately, I'm having an issue with Alibaba. I'm not necessarily disrespecting Alibaba. The question is, you bring comedians to a hotel and you embarrass them just because of a car. Because you want to give them car. So it's just because a lot of comedians are platform hungry. So it doesn't make sense. So it's just there. If Alibaba can literally embarrass comedians on that big platform, what do you expect other people to do? Alibaba like the king of comedy. If you don't respect the young comedians, what do you expect other people sitting down to do? They also disrespect these people. Because from the up, you need to show that this craft is what you're expected. These people are what you're expected. Even if they are growing face, give them the respect they deserve. After somebody can just call you and say, it's not to crack joke, then crack the joke.
As you think it's easy, you say crack
the joke. I remember I was called for a wedding, to come and anchor a wedding. Then I gave them my fee. And the husband was like, it's not just to talk. So after the whole day, we actually agreed on the fee. I anchored the wedding. Then it was time for the husband to give both of them. He said I should give it. I said no, you will give that both of them.
Yes.
Since you say it's that easy
to talk.
give the both of them and address the audience. So I feel comedians first of all need to understand that they can create their own platform. Start from your community. If it's 50 people you can gather to watch you, gather them together, watch you, record it, put it out there. Move it to 100 persons, record it, put it out there. Gradually you will get your recognition.
All right, thank you so much for coming on the show. We are super elated and honored to have you here. Apostwo has done so much and has told you everything you need to know. Finally, give us your social media handle so we can follow you quickly.
So on Instagram, it is I am Apostwo, and the Apostwo is spelled Apostwo. On TikTok, it is Apostwo, Apostwo. On Twitter, is Apostwo, Apostwo. On YouTube, it's Acts of Apostwo. And on Facebook, Apostwo and Acts of Apostwo. There's only one Apostwo, and that's me. Any other Apostwo is a counterfeit.
Nice one. All right, thank you for showing up and showing out.